Hello friends, I Padmini Jain from School of Journalism and New Media Studies, Indira Gandhi National Open University, Delhi, welcome you to today's discussion. This day we have chosen a very interesting topic to talk about. It is gender in popular media. Being students of media, you would have often noticed that how we are subjected to what is being seen in the mainstream, popular, or even serious media. And gender roles, perceptions that we hold are in a very major way affected and impacted by that. I would request you today, when we discuss certain things, please pay attention and think of whatever is going on in your world around you. You have already dealt with the theoretical aspect of gender and gender in the news and serious media. Today, let us come to the entertainment or the popular visual media, as we call it, and see examples of how gender is represented, how it is changing, and what are its implications for you and me. So friends, let us begin by understanding why do we have to worry about the role of gender and its representation in media. That is because media mirrors the society. It was traditionally said that literature is reflecting whatever is happening in and around us. These days, media has assumed the same role. But it is very tough to say whether it reflects what it sees or it is actually an agent of change. Media does shape public opinion, and with the roles around us changing, and especially the gender roles, the echoes of the representations in media are seen in our drawing room discussions and in the way we lead our lives. Many people argue that it only promotes stereotypical images. But I would discuss with you today that a lot of change is also happening, and this change is inspirational in a way. You need to understand the key concepts of media literacy to be able to make this discussion fruitful for you. These are audience negotiate meaning. That means whatever is being shown will be perceived and taken in by different people in different manners. So audience is not a passive receiver. He actively engages and constructs the meaning of the content. All the media is constructed to represent people and places or events. Media contain ideological and value messages. They have commercial implications, and each medium has a unique aesthetic form to it. Now let us come to some of the concepts of gender which we need to keep in mind. The first is the male gaze. It is the act of depicting women in the world in visual arts, it be literature or other media forms, from a masculine heterosexual perspective that presents and represents women as sexual objects of pleasure for the male viewer. This concept was given by Laura Mulvey. And in simple terms, it means that women are viewed from the eyes of a heterosexual male. They are represented as an object of his desire, and therefore the female viewer must experience the narrative and identify this with as the male perceives it. Another interesting concept is that of social constructivism. This means how various social and cultural institutions shape the realm of gender. The study of representation of gender in media understands it to be socially constructed. It is an ongoing process of learned set of behaviors, expectations, perceptions, subjectivities that define what is meant to be a woman and what it means to be a man. Gender is not viewed as something which is originally existent in human beings. It is rather representation of how we relate to our bodies through behaviors and social relations. So to understand it, you can say that it is a product of social technologies, which are like media texts, arts, institutionalized discourses. For example, the biological fact is that a woman can produce a child, but the sociologically constructed constructivism theory is that she always has to be present whenever a child needs her. So the role of mother is not as equivalent to the role of reproduction. This role is socially constructed. Keeping this in mind, we can look at themes in media. Of the many influences of how we view men and women, Media are the most pervasive and one of the most powerful. Woven throughout our daily lives, media messages put into our consciousness all forms of images of sexes that are communicated to us. These images are usually unrealistic and limiting in perspectives. Women are underrepresented and men and women are portrayed in stereotypical manners. Depiction of relationships is also related to the traditional roles, and sometimes the violence against women is normalized in media. This brings us to the concept of stereotyping. Media are powerful actors in shaping, producing, and changing societal norms and beliefs. They show realities of the society, but at the same time, they construct the reality by continuously enforcing the existing difference between men and women. In many countries, both men and women are subjected to stereotyping, in which women are usually portrayed as housewives or relegated to the role of home and hearth, and men are adventurous and outgoers. So these roles might be changing, but the criticism against media portrayals is that they keep on stereotypically representing, repeating, and constructing these roles in our minds. With this understanding, let us look at media's gender narrative. The author of The Second Sex said that one is not born a woman but made one. And we can very easily extend this statement to say, and the media plays an important role in making her so. And why do I say that? Let us look at mass media and women. The relationship is such that perceptions of the society and women herself about how she should look, behave, conduct herself are not only reflected but also shaped by the mass media. What is beautiful, what is acceptable, what is likable, what should be her vital statistics, to the ideal menu in kitchen, media seems to dictate each and every point of her life. Friends, this was about women. But there is another change which is happening these days, which is inclusion of the new gender. So media has now turned towards acceptance and endorsement of this other gender. Things have changed from ridicule and laughter to realism, no longer relegated to the realms of secrecy and innuendo. We now see lesbians, gays, bisexuals, transgenders. These people are now represented on television and even in mainstream films. More than ever before, the queer population have a media presence. They see their reflection on screen in a largely positive light, stable, employed, charming, attractive, well-liked and successful. But friends, whatever be the role of women or LGBTQ community, a lot still remains to be changed. So, now when we talk of gender in today's discourse, we will refer to the male, the female and the LGBTQ, all three genders. And what will we cover when we talk of the popular visual media? We will talk about the four quadrants of cinema, television, web and advertisements. Many more media can be included in the visual and popular media, pulp fictions, magazines, music videos, and these days even the mobile communication that is happening through social media. But for today's discourse, let us limit ourselves to these four quadrants. Let us now deal with them one by one. So what we shall do is, we shall pick up each quadrant and then discuss the male, female and transgender portrayal in this. See, male has usually been the dominant sex, and in the society with the male gaze, the theory that we discussed a few minutes back, it is assumed that everything is being perceived and represented in the way that he wants. So we talk of the marginalized sections, which are women and the other gender. And the male is imbibed and automatically interwoven into this discourse. In cinema, it is usually said that women are nothing but a glam doll. She is only an object. The only purpose of a heroine is usually to sing, dance, dress beautifully, put on makeup and seduce the hero. The protagonist is understated and she is a weak, dependent bimbo. She might be a doctor, journalist, lawyer, police inspector, or even a managing director, but her ultimate goal remains to win the love of the man that she is actually wooing. Women are simultaneously looked at and displayed with their appearance coded for strong visual and erotic impact, and the item numbers that we see in our movies strengthen this belief. Her body is used as an object to pull the audience. The stereotypical portrayals of women in cinema that we see are not far. Films continue to present both women and men in ways that limit our perception of human possibility. Men are portrayed as active, adventurous, powerful, sexually aggressive, and largely uninvolved in human relationships, whereas women are depicted as sex objects who are usually young, thin, beautiful, passive, dependent, and often incompetent and dumb. Because cinema pervades our lives so much that the ways that misinterpret and misrepresent gender may distort how we see ourselves and how we perceive the society around us. But friends, think again. The scene is not that dark. Also, there is a silver lining. There have been strong female ambassadors in the Indian Hindi films. Cinema has been a major point of reference for Indian culture in this century. It has shaped and expressed the changing scenario of modern India to an extent that no preceding art form had ever achieved before that. Many movies have different point of views that are targeted towards women, and to some extent, it identifies the area where modern feminism comes into contact with traditional values. There have been positive portrayals of women in films in which the woman has become the central character and is treated with dignity. Filmmakers are now ready to portray, and audience are prepared to accept the female characters shown as strong women who are able to hold their own ground. There are many new and budding filmmakers from Rajkumar Santoshi, Mahesh Bhatt, Shyam Benegal, Madhur Bhandarkar, Aparna Sen, Gurinder Chadha, Tanuja Chandra, Reema Kagti, and now so many more who are actually depicting the world through women's eyes. Let me take you to the journey of the Bollywood heroine. You would actually argue and sometimes think, "Arey, traditionally it was very bad, now the things are improving." So I will take you to a journey and leave it at 2015 for you to actually think and put into your mind examples of the last 5 years. The journey of the Bollywood heroine has been that she was always coy. She has been shy, evasive, with dropped eyelids. The posture was always protective. But she has been assertive in all the roles or most of the roles that you see. Be it Tulsi of Roti Kapda Aur Makan, who actually fights with a person who tries to rape her. Be it the Guddi of Jaya Bhaduri playing that role in the film of that name, where she is very, very particular about the man she actually wishes to marry. Be it Sunita of Tisri Manzil, who is there out to find a culprit. Be it Meeta of Hum Dono, where Sadhana actually looks after the mother of her boyfriend without tying the wedlock with him. So they are assertive in whatever roles they choose. Even Vidya of Sri Charsubis, played by Nargis way back in 1955, was very, very clear where her ethics and morals were there and she stood by them. Be it villainous or virtuous, films like Sharmili, Kati Patang, Silsila, Chorni, where the women actually had little flawed characteristics in them. Or be it the Kothewali who was depicted from Devdas to Umrao Jan to Amar Prem to Pakiza, they all held their ground and were very, very particular and decisive in their minds. Even the vamps like Helen, Shashikala, Bindus of the day, they might be astray, the betrayer, the bad souls, but they were assertive. Even if they were not aggressive, they might have been docile in their disposition, but very, very strong in their minds. She could actually break the mold. She dared to challenge the accepted and the acceptable and had the strength to set new norms for herself. From 1982 to 2014, if you look at movies like Nikah, where the woman broke the stereotype of Arthi and the Doli syndrome. The Doli will go, the Arthi will come. She dares to divorce her husband who has no time for her. Be it the Zakhmi Aurat, where a rape victim does not have to commit suicide. She can actually take revenge from the people who had committed the wrong against her. Be it Dor, which idealizes the female friendship and bonding. Arth, where the woman has the audacity to challenge the betrayal of her husband. Dil Se, where the ultimate nirvana is not in the man, she is targeted and very focused with her ambition. From Ded Ishqiya, where a woman is actually not afraid to use her sexuality as her weapon. So all these movies have seen the breaking of stereotypes. The women are now turning unapologetic about their sexual interest, how to use their bodies and their minds to achieve their goals. There has been the birth of the new avatar, where the coyness has disappeared, the heroine is too sure, she matches the male in values and in disposition. She even overpowers him at times. So from 2010 to 2014, if we look at the movies, the women are now sure. They are very, very strong, assertive, and aggressive at times. Even the movies that have come after that, to the newest Thappad, to Man Marziya, or Ki and Ka, where a woman is not afraid to say what she wishes to do in her life. She is not afraid to see her boyfriend even when she is married. She can be flawed, she can be Adonis, but still, she is the woman of today. And also the movies have shown males assuming the parenting roles, be it Brahmachari, Kuvara Baap, Mr. India. They have all been looking after children. In Akele Hum Akele Tum, Amir Khan looks after his child when his wife leaves for her ambition. In मैं ऐसा ही हूँ है, मैं ऐसा ही हूँ, an autistic Ajay Devgan fights for the right of his girl child. There are also many more movies that show fathers very, very affectionate, and now they are not afraid to show the feminine side of themselves, which is the motherly side, be it Chachi 420, Kamal Hassan, or Kuch Kuch Hota Hai, Shah Rukh Khan. And there are movies like Sadma and Tare Zameen Pe, where Kamal Hassan and Amir Khan assume the parental role towards some other person. Now let us come to the portrayal of the other gender in films. Who can forget the Sadashiv Amarpuri role of Maharani in Sadak? It was a villainous character of a hijra. And on the other hand, in a movie like Tamanna, a transgender assumes a very, very virtuous character of bringing up a girl child who has been abandoned by her own family. Things are now changing. From the hijra and the transgender, who can either be very good or very bad, we now have the new voices. In Aligarh, Manoj Bajpayee is a professor who is actually being very negatively impacted by the stereotypes towards gay men, and he eventually commits suicide. In I Am, Rahul Bose is shown how gays are exploited by the society. In Bombay Talkies, you have Randeep Hooda and Avinash who tie the knot with women, but still they cannot be forced out of their sexualities. You have movies like My Brother Nikhil, in which Sanjay Suri and Purab Kohli show that even homosexual relationships can be as normal as the other ones. In Shubh Mangal Zyada Savdhan, it goes a step further to show men tying knot and getting into the marital bonding. There are other movies in which Fahad Khan, Samir Soni, movies like Kapoor and Sons and Fashion show that men who can be heterosexual or homosexual can exist in the society, coexist with other people. With such things, even the women are being shown in homosexual roles. Fire, Girlfriend, Date Ishq Kiya, Margarita with a Straw, Ek Ladki Ko Dekha To Aisa Laga are some of the very popular movies who actually took up and explored these subjects wonderfully. So friends, you see that films are breaking stereotypes and giving you roles of strong women and other gender. Now let us come to the television. In the world of soap operas, a middle-class girl is usually married into a high-class rich business family, and she jumps from the role of a sincere housewife to a CEO effortlessly. She preserves her family honor and is always having an evil vamp to fight with. So in a television series, her role is usually relegated to Shadi, which is her sole aim. To get a man is all that she aims for. The heroine is always dressed to their best with Kanjivaram saris and matching jewelry. They are never seen without the Mangalsutra and Sindoor. She is beautiful, capable, honest, direct, intelligent, and frequently uses her intelligence to achieve her goals. It seems that men have little to do in her presence. But does it mean that we are showing some progressive trends? Many of you would argue, no, it is not progressive. The women in television are stereotyped. Her role is either romanticized or dismissed as non-important. While highlighting domestic and biological roles, it almost neglects the major contributions that women make to the development of nation or society, politically or economically. This is like trivializing the roles. You can see many of our television heroines relegated to these stereotypical roles. This is a very different picture from the real life, where women have more to do than folding saris or suffer at the hands of a bad mother-in-law. She is not perfection personified in the real life as in the real world. But learners, there have been positive portrayals of women characters from way back in 1980s, where you had soap operas like Rajni, Udaan, where the characters of Rajni portrayed brilliantly by Priya Tandulkar or that of Kalyani by Kavita Chaudhary as an IPS officer were appreciated, and they became role models for very many women. Also in television, series like Khana Khazana, which ran for good 20 years, have changed the roles of men. Here a man was a celebrated chef and many women would learn from him. The transgender theme was also explored in a television serial recently on Colors, which was Shakti, Astitv ke ehsaas ki. So even the other is making the entry into a television. But still television seems to be not a very progressive medium. And here comes the very refreshing world of web series. It has come as a welcome change. Glamorous images and the poor thing attitudes that have been exhibited by media about women are changing. The third gender and the women are ironically being considered in their real roles. Stereotypes are being broken and multi-dimensional projection of their personalities are taking center stage. Many welcoming web series like Arya, Out of Love and Delhi Crime show women who are very, very soft in their disposition but still strong in their roles. They might not be wrongdoers, they are righteous, but they do not tolerate any wrong. Be it a mother in Arya or a doctor who is being wronged by her husband or a police officer in Delhi Crime played brilliantly by Sushmita Sen, Shefali Chaya. So these are the women who are good women, but they are not afraid of the world. The web series has another angle where they show flawed women, be it Lara Datta in 100 or in 4 Shots Please or in Inside Edge, Richa Chadda. So these women use their sexuality. They all have extramarital affairs, they are flawed, but they are not afraid. This is the woman, the new woman, who is unapologetic. She might be flawed, but she lives, loves, makes mistakes and discovers what she really wants. Even the dubbed series which are coming from the Korean or other countries are culturally intermingling with the Indian culture and changing perceptions of people. Another thing which web has brought is the explicit role of sexuality, bringing erotica to the table. Alt Balaji, the Ullu app, Airtel Extreme with series like Charam, Sukh, Panchali, Kavita Bhabhi, Triple X or Mismatch that talks of partner swapping or the very popular Alt Balaji series Gandhi Baat. There has been a lot of hue and cry from lay people whether this is right or wrong. But friends, the important part is that there is a change which is coming. With respect to the other gender, the web series Made in Heaven, which was produced by Excel Entertainment and Zoya Akhtar and Reema Kakti created the show, used the character of Arjun Mathur, who plays Karan. He goes through his journey of trials and tribulations, and being a homosexual male, he is at last accepted by the society and the audience alike. Another series, 4 More Shots Please. I spoke of this series where it portrays strong women. It also has a character of Umang, who is a gym trainer played by Bani J. She is very clear about her sexuality and she goes on to marry another famous female amidst a lot of media publicity. So these roles are bringing in the other gender perspective to the drawing rooms of people and forcing them to think in this line. Also on web, other than web series, the popular web has been celebrating the Pride Month. Google actually came up with a Google Doodle to celebrate LGBTQ right activist and drag queen Marsha Johnson, with all smiles and sporting her iconic flowery headgear. Marsha was the founding member of Gay Liberation Front. When a huge search engine like Google produces a doodle related to this, a lot of public opinion changes. It actually brings the talk to the public sphere. let's talk about advertisements, how they define women. As you can see on your screen, most of the advertisements actually talk of the stereotypical role of women. It has been found that ads reinforce gender stereotypes. Women are shown ruling the domestic space, whether cooking food or serving it, whereas men pose with household appliances, women are shown using them. In contrast, outdoor products like cars are dominated by men. Men are shown as being in charge of buying high-value goods like cars, gold, houses. Women are shown making low-value purchases like oils, washing powders, or breakfast cereals. It is hard to say whether women are mimicking the ads or ads are mirroring the real society women. The woman is either the superpower, like in the ads of Pond's Dream Flower, Iodex, Kurkure, Wheel, or Whirlpool, or she is an obsessed woman with her looks, jewelry, and clothes, like with Mrs. Merino, Ricova, Sunsilk, Garnier, or Fair and Lovely, or it is a sexualized woman like in the ads of Levi's, Lee Cooper, Hindwear, or Axe. Johnson & Johnson shows a mother looking after the child, not the father. There are ads about jewelry, about makeup, about shampoos, about cosmetic brands, which have women shown in Photoshop, brilliantly shining images. And also the ads that exploit her sexuality and use her body to sell branded products.
क्या चाहिए
जी वो हाँ एक प्रेशर कुकर चाहिए।
प्रेशर कुकर? क्यों नहीं आप अपनी बीवी से कितना प्यार करते हैं ये तो बताइए।
क्या मतलब है आपका?
एम्प्लॉय ऑफ द ईयर, एक भी सिक लीव नहीं ली मैंने। कमाल का कप है ना?
पापा वैसे सब मम्मी के कप का कमाल है।
मम्मी का कप?
हाँ वही जिससे आप हेल्दी रहते हो और रोज ऑफिस जा पाते हो।
नेचुरल के रेड लेबल नेचुरल के।
अरे इसके हाथों ने तो कमाल कर दिया।
पर तुम्हारे हाथों का काम तो बढ़ा दिया।
नहीं माँ, इजी है। मेरे पास अब 10 हाथ है। सर्फ एक्सेल इजी वॉश।
इस जमाने में है।
रिया, वो मेरी ग्रीन शर्ट धोई क्यों नहीं?
कहाँ जा रही हो? फ्रेंड्स के साथ।
क्या आज का क्या प्रोग्राम है?
मस्ती। The new Hero Honda Pleasure 100cc light and zippy. Why should boys have all the fun?
But friends, there are brilliant changes that are coming in. The society is changing and for good. Here on your screen, I'll show you an ad which is by a hair care product, Vatika, which has shampoos and oils. In this ad, you can see a screenshot of a bald woman. She does not have hair. And in a second screenshot, the Vatika says that some women do not need hair to look beautiful. It is about cancer survivors who might have lost their hair. And even without hair or using their hair care products, these women are beautiful. So this change about telling women that you are only beautiful with a glowing skin, thick hair and great dresses and jewelry is a welcome change. She is welcomed and accepted by the society even when she breaks the stereotypical beauty images. There is also a whole world of changing ads. Let us see some examples. The ad of Havel's fans, where the stereotype is broken, where the male says he might change his surname after their marriage. It is about breaking the mold of the woman always changing her surname. Or that of an Ariel washing powder, where a father realizes that he's been setting wrong examples for his daughter by saying that the household chores are only responsibilities of women. Or a mother realizing that she needs to teach her son to share household responsibilities if she has taught her daughter to stand on her own feet. The ad about Titan Raga watches was a brilliant ad that talks about questioning the perception that if a male and female are working together, then she might be using some wrong means to climb the ladder of her career. So these ads are the ads that reflect the new wave of change.
बैठे तो आपका नाम है विकास वर्मा और आप मिस शांति पंडित। शादी के बाद आप मिसेस शांति वर्मा।
नो मैम, अब ये शांति पंडित ही रहेंगी, मैं बनूंगा विकास पंडित। आई विल टेक हर नेम।
हैवेल्स, हवा बदलेगी।
नाना ये देखो, शील्ड, लेग, हेलमेट।
होमवर्क हो गया?
मम्मी ये देखो।
फिर दाग लगा दिया। पापा ये लीजिए आपके घर जाने की टिकट। हेलो, या आई एम जस्ट गोइंग टू सेंड यू द ईमेल इन 5 minutes. या गिव मी 5 minutes. आई एम वर्किंग ऑन द प्रेजेंट.
मेरी छोटी सी गुड़िया कितनी बड़ी हो गई, घर घर खेलती थी, अब घर संभालती है, ऑफिस संभालती है। आई एम सो प्राउड एंड आई एम सो सॉरी। सॉरी कि ये सब तुम्हें अकेले करना पड़ता है। सॉरी कि जब तुम घर घर खेलती थी तो मैंने तुम्हें रोका नहीं। ये नहीं कहा कि ये सिर्फ तुम्हारा काम नहीं है, तुम्हारे हस्बैंड का भी है, पर कहता भी कैसे है।
और मेरी ग्रीन शर्ट धो देना।
मैंने भी तो कभी तुम्हारी मम्मी की हेल्प नहीं की, और तुमने जो देखा वही सीखा। तुम्हारे हस्बैंड ने भी बचपन में यही देखा होगा। घर घर खेलते वक्त वो टीवी देखने की या न्यूज़पेपर पढ़ने की एक्टिंग करता होगा, और तुम जैसी कोई छोटी सी लड़की चाय बनाने की एक्टिंग करती होगी। उसके डैड की तरफ से सॉरी, तुम्हारे डैड की तरफ से सॉरी, और हर उस डैड की तरफ से सॉरी जिसने कई कई सालों से एक गलत एग्जाम्पल सेट किया है। पर अभी भी देर नहीं हुई। इस सॉरी के साथ मैं अपनी तरफ से एक छोटी सी कोशिश करूंगा कि घर के काम में मम्मी की हेल्प करूं। किचन का किंग ना बन पाऊं तो कम से कम लॉन्ड्री में तो हाथ बटाऊं। इतने साल एक गलत एग्जाम्पल सेट किया है, अब कुछ सही कर जाऊं। तुम्हारा पापा।
ये हो गया कंप्लीट एंड रेकमेंडेड प्रमोशन लिस्ट।
थैंक यू। किरण, recommended by Rajat. Obviously.
Who's Kiran? And why obvious?
So Kiran, star of Rajat's team. Rajat उसको हर प्रोजेक्ट में ले लेता है सर. He says they make a great team. यंग है, फ्रेशर है, पर रजत को उस पे पूरा भरोसा है सर. एंड जब देखो दे आर वर्किंग टुगेदर. Not just in office, huh? They spend weekends also on work. On discussions, brainstorming sessions, या some presentations. सबसे पहले ऑफिस आते हैं, सबसे लेट निकलते हैं. For them, it's all about work, sir.
हम भी देखें रजत का रिकमेंडेशन.
Sure, sir.
Yes, sir.
हाँ, किरण को अंदर भेजना.
Sure, sir.
Thank you. Everyone, this is Kiran.
Friends, now you have seen how the popular medium of cinema, television, the emerging media of web, and the world of advertisements are portraying men, women, and the transgender community stereotypically, but also bringing in pleasant changes. But to be looking at the traditional stereotypical content on media, there is a need for media literacy. Technological advancements and globalization of media has strengthened structural disadvantages for genders. They have also in turn opened up new avenues for alternatives and networking. We might criticize what the media is doing and what it is to be done with the content, but it is we actually who encourage this by buying into these ideas. It is therefore essential to sift through the information flood and decide for ourselves what to be influenced by and how much. Hence, media literacy is required to teach us to take in all this with a pinch of salt and not get affected by all the trash that is doled out on us in the name of TRPs or circulation figures. I hope that being media literate, media consumers and media producers, you will be able to understand the content and also produce the content that leads the society towards progressive changes that makes us think and where all the genders can have an equal, shared and strong space to coexist. With that optimistic note, this is Padmini Jain signing off. All the best.